Good morning, students. Today we'll start with chapter 7, which is a poem on Block City. The poem is Block City, and the poet is Robert Louis Stevenson. The poet is Robert Louis Stevenson. So let us watch the video.
Let us read this poem about a city that a child builds using blocks.
What are you able to build with your blocks? Castles and palaces, temples and docks. Rain may keep raining and others go roam, but I can be happy and building at home.
So, in the first stanza, the child says that suppose if you're given blocks to play with, what all things can you make? So, you can make castles, you can make palaces, you can make temples, and you can even make docks. What are docks? Docks are the place where ships are loaded and unloaded. So, just like a train can't be moving all the time, a car can't be moving all the time. Similarly, the ships also can't be moving all the time. They have to be parked at some place. They have to be loaded and unloaded at some place. So, just as railway station is a platform for the trains to stop, halt, load the carriage, unload the parcels. Similarly, ships are loaded or unloaded at docks, or they are repaired or they are parked at docks. So the child says that if suppose you're given blocks to play, so you can make castles, you can make palaces, you can make temples, and you can even make docks. Now here the child is imagining all of his playway thing. And why is he playing? Because it's raining outside. He cannot go outside to play. So instead of going out, it's better that he's sitting inside and he's playing with the blocks at home. So the line says that rain may keep raining and others go roam. For some people, it is important to go out even in rain. For example, your parents, if they have to work, they have to go to their offices, they will have to go whether it is raining or not. It is mandatory. But for the child, this can't be an option. A child can sit quietly, safely at home, and he can play with the blocks.
Let the sofa be mountains, the carpet be sea. There I'll establish a city for me. A kirk and a mill and a palace beside, and a harbour as well where my vessels may ride.
In the second stanza, the child imagines that the sofa, the green sofa that you see here in the video, that is the mountain, and the blue carpet that is lying below, the child imagines it to be sea. And he says that this sofa and the sea, that will be the backdrop for the palace or the city that is he making. So imagining mountain and sea, he starts to make a city of blocks on his own. So he make a church, he made a mill. Mill is the place where we keep the cut or sowed harvested grains, जहाँ हम अपने grains जो पक जाते हैं उनको store करते हैं. So that is mill. And he makes a church, he makes a mill, and he also creates a palace, as you can see in the video. And there is also a harbor. Now what is harbor? Harbor is the place where ships stand, they are kept. So docks and harbor are very close by. So docks में the ships are repaired, the goods are put in the ships, the goods are taken off from the ship, and harbor is actually the place where we keep the ships tied. So the child says that besides this castle and palaces and temples and dock, what all things will he create in his city, with his block city? He's going to make a church, he's going to make a mill, he's going to make a palace, and he's also going to make a harbor.
Great is the palace with pillar and wall. a sort of a tower on top of it all, and steps coming down in an orderly way to where my toy vessels lie safe in the bay.
In the fourth stanza, the child says that now the palace is made. You can see in the video, the palace is made. Yeah. There are pillars, there are walls, and there is tower also. At the top, you can see there's a tower. So, and also the steps. He also made the stairs in orderly way. So he's made it in a very proper manner. So it plays in very neat manner, and he says that the toy lies safe in the bay, which means that there are some toys which are in the bay. Now, what is bay? Bay is the part of sea which is surrounded by the it's the part of the sea which is surrounded by the land. Like here you can see the area where you can see ship and boat. This is the area that you can see ship and boat. The entire region which is marked by this land, जो land के पास वाला area है, wherein the sea is there, the land is there. So adjacent land to the sea, that is called bay. So the child says that I have made all such things, and I've also made bay. Bay means the area, the land where the ships and boat can be crossed across.
To where my toy vessels lie safe in the bay.
So
This
the toys
one
are
is
placed
sailing.
very safely. You can see this is the bay that I was telling that land से आधा portion land से होता है और आधा sea में होता है. So this is bay, and the toys are very safely kept in the bay. This region is your bay.
And that one is moored. Hark to the song of the sailors on board. And see on the steps of my palace the kings coming and going with presents and things.
So in the last stanza,
Let us read this poem
the child says,
This one is sailing and that one is moored.
see,
Hark!
the child says this one is sailing means the one is sailing, the one ship is sailing, and the other ship is moored. Moored means this, the brown thing that you see. It means that it is tied with a rope when the ships don't move. जब ship नहीं sail करते, we tie them with a rope to the land on the bay. ये bay है. So here you can see there is one ship here which is tied. There is one boat here which is tied. So when the ships are not sailing, obviously they'll be tied to something close to the land, so that when we have to move or when we have to go, we can sit on them. Obviously we can't walk on water, so we need a path, we need a passage on land to go into the boat or sea. So when they are not moving, they are tied with a rope. This is called moored. So one ship is sailing and other ship is moored, which is tied. And the child imagined that there are some sailors on the boat who are singing, who are listening to the song. If you remember, we have read in the chapter The Snake Boat Race that the sailors, when they sit in the boat, they sing loudly, they joy together. So here also the child imagines that there are some sailors sitting in the boat. One is tied and the one which is sailing, the sailors in the boat, they are singing. So child closes his eyes and he imagines that the sailors are singing. So he asks us also to listen to these songs which the sailor are singing on the boat. And there are steps. These are the steps where we can see the king is coming down from the palace towards the bay, and the stairs are properly made, and there are people going up and down from these stairs. Some are getting the presents, some are bringing the presents. So this is what is happening in and around the palace. So this is all about the poem Block City, which is written by Robert Louis Stevenson. So now your homework for today is to copy the dictation words and word meanings in your fair notebook. Thank you.